Hey, my name is Shelby Manus. Based off of George Strait's biography on GeorgeStrait.com, he has achieved the most #1 singles of all musicians in history, including Elvis. Speaking numerically, he has achieved 57 #1 hits and has sold 69 million records, also with many multi-platinum albums. Several of you have probably waited in line to purchase tickets for a George Strait concert. But you really didn't put much thought into the pre-show musicians. In the GS News and Updates portion of George Strait's website, he introduced Taylor Swift as his opening act for his tour. So he was the main reason how Taylor Swift got into the country music industry. George Strait is known all across the world as the King of Country. With his numerous music hits and awards today, I will discuss a brief history of how he got into the music industry, his method of performing along with emphasis on his family, and explain other ventures he has participated in outside of the music industry. So let's begin with telling his background of how he got into the music industry. In order to understand how George Strait became such a well-known country singer, you have to understand his background and how he grew up. In George Strait's early life biography off of biography.com, he was born on May 18, 1952 in Texas. He was also raised on a farm in Texas. George went to school at Southwest Texas State University and studied agriculture. After studying agriculture, he married his high school girlfriend, Norma, and then joined the Army and got stationed in Hawaii. In Hawaii, George started playing in the Army band called Ramblin' Country. When George returned from Hawaii, he started his own band called Ace in the Hole. In George Strait's commercial breakthrough portion of his biography off of biography.com, he had his first contract signing in 1981 with MCA Records, in which the album was called Strait Country. His first hit single on Strait Country was called Unwound. After Unwound, he went on to produce other popular albums, including Does Fort Worth Ever Cross Your Mind and Oceanfront Property. Now you can understand how George Strait got started into the country music industry by being in the Army. Now I will explain how family is very important to George Strait and his method of performing during his concerts. In Taste of Country by Billy Dukes, he gives several facts about George Strait, including that he has 2 children, a daughter named Jennifer and a son named George Jr. George Strait's daughter, Jennifer, died in a car accident when she was 13. In Taste of Country by Billy Dukes, it states, the singer hasn't talked about the incident much, but USA Today got him to admit that his 2005 song, You'll Be There, makes him think of her. George Strait writes songs with his son, which his name is Bubba, including Arkansas Dave and Here for a Good Time off the Twang album. From my personal experience from going to 2 George Strait concerts, it's the type of not the type of concert with flashy lights, fire and dancing all over the place. George Strait has a stage that's just a square. He has a stool on each corner, and he will sing one song at one stool and then go to the next corner, sing his next song. He's often found sitting down and very calm while he presents himself. So now I hope you can better understand how important family is to George Strait and how his performance style is very different compared to other performers. Now I'm going to discuss the many different ventures George Strait has participated in outside of country music. George Strait has tried many different areas other than music, the first being acting. He has also been in several advertising commercials and owns a hotel. In George Strait's biography on biography.com, they talk about how George was an actor in 1992 in Pure Country. He also went on to produce several songs to go along with the films such as Heartland and I Cross My Heart. Based off of the Strait Facts page on GeorgeStrait.com, George has held many advertising campaigns for companies such as Resistol Hats, Justin Boots, Chevrolet, and Wrangler. Based off of the article called George Strait Finishes Work on Texas Golf Resort by Billy Dukes on Taste of Country's website, George talks about saving a property from foreclosure and partnering with Tom Quizek to create a resort and conference center along with a golf course called Tapiato Springs. So as you can see, George Strait is very well rounded and has participated in many different areas outside of country music. Altogether, George Strait has proven to be the king of country. Due to his love of making classic country music hits, throughout the speech I discussed how George Strait got into the music industry, the importance of family, along with his performance method and other ventures that he's participated in outside of country music. George Strait has been so influential to many other young and upcoming country artists and has greatly impacted the country music industry for the better. So I hope today now you have a better understanding of how George Strait got into the country music industry. Thank you.